Gene Anderson, Dennis Bounds, Jeff Renner, Bristol and Weather, and Paul Sylvie, Sports. #1 in Western Washington, King 5 News at 5.
EPA researchers may have found a way to track movements of underwater contamination.
It could be a major breakthrough, but first they have to test it. In a King 5 exclusive, environmental specialist Gary Chittum shows us how they turned one of our area's most contaminated places into their laboratory.
Seattle's only river is one of its greatest environmental embarrassments. The Duwamish was an industrial sewer for a century. The contamination is so bad, it has its own Superfund segment. And that's exactly where these divers are headed today.
We're going to drop anchor here.
The Environmental Protection Agency dive team is suiting up for a plunge into the hot zone. They will drive arrow-shaped sensors into silt they already know is heavily contaminated.
Those hotspot areas are being targeted somewhat so that we can see how this technique will work.
Check, 1, 2, 3.
The divers are risking exposure to dangerous toxins to try out new sampling techniques. Other sampling methods provide a snapshot of contamination. These probes will be left in for weeks to gather a long-term picture of how PCBs and other dangerous contaminants fluctuate with the temperature, the tides, the seasons, whatever.
What we hope is that this technique will give us a better idea of what fish and other creatures in the river and wherever this is deployed, give us an idea of what they're being exposed to.
The divers are being exposed to more than toxins. They're working in the current.
The visibility is about 5 feet when you first get on the bottom, and as soon as you start interacting with the muddy bottom and working, it just blows up to 0 right away.
When they come out, decon. They have to be sprayed down to keep from bringing the toxic sediment on board. But if this experiment works, it may lead to a change in the contaminated course of the Duwamish. In Seattle, Gary Chittum, King 5 News.
The sensors will be pulled up in a month and will hopefully show researchers how the contaminants flow through river sediments.
We now know what it